Christmas, Nicole. How are you?
I am great. Merry Christmas, friends. We hope you're all having a lovely fa la 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 day.
We are. We want to quickly remind all of you that if you are new, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe wherever you guys are watching this, whether it be Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, in the Hello Friends community, in the TV Co app. And if you are listening to the podcast version of this, a 5-star rating and a nice review is always appreciated. What a great gift on this holiday season. Of course, sharing the show is always nice too. It puts you on the nice list.
Yes.
So share the show, share it with your friends, your family. We really appreciate it. Of course, we read all of your comments that you guys leave on the shows. We love and appreciate all your support. You can also check out hellofriendspod.com for our website, which the whole rebranding will be launching on January 1st. I can't wait for that. And I'm so excited, Nicole, because we've been teasing this, for a day or two now, saying we have a surprise Christmas show for all of you guys on Christmas.
Yep. And people kept on saying, reveal it. Who is it? What is it? What's happening? And we said, we're telling you, it's a Christmas special.
It's a surprise Christmas show. We can't be any clearer, everyone. So that being said, Nicole, I'm going to let you do the honors.
Okay, on this lovely Christmas day with festivities and joy and love and light, we figured everybody needs Christmas joy. And where do you find more Christmas joy than with the actual Christmas joy, my friends? It is my fellow BB All-Star, one of two females, I was the other one, to win the first competition on premiere night. I will never let that go. It is the one, the only Christmas Abbott.
Hello, Christmas!
What's up, guys? Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! How are you enjoying the holiday season?
It's a little different than normal, but I'm just honestly just spending time with my family, cuddling my little man Loyal, and just chilling out. Still chilling out.
That.
And also, I'm going to be the awkward person that brings up the elephant in the room about another guest we had on the show. Also, cuddling your big man, that's awkward, Memphis.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that's where you were going when you said cuddling, and I got excited.
Yeah. Well, I cuddle him too.
Christmas, you need to let your man know that I'm mad at him now. Because when he was on this show... Oh, when he was on this show, I said to him, Memphis, I saw sparks. I think there's something there between you and Christmas. And I'm sure you know by now on his preseason interviews, they said, if there was someone in the house that you wish could be there to have a showmance with, he named you.
I know. Smart man. Look, I think I'm pink.
He denied it. He said, no, Eric, no, we're just friends. And I went, okay, whatever you say, Memphis. And then 2 weeks later, breaking news, ET article, Christmas and Memphis are dating. And I said, Nicole, I'm mad at him. He lied to me.
There's a lot of resentment.
Lie completely. So, truth be told, we became friends in the house, and Nicole can tell you that there's nothing that house doesn't see. Yep. You're literally videoed everywhere. Bathroom, shower, underneath the bed, all the things. You can't get away with anything. And so we were really honestly just really close friends in the house, and we felt this pull, this magnetism between us. And honestly, we coming out of the house, you're were those BB goggles that I was wearing? Did I have interest in him because of we were just cooped up in a house for 3 months nonstop? Or is this significant? And we had to go back to our normal lives to litmus test a little bit of this. So we tried to run away from it, but it was going to catch up to us. It caught up to us.
I think it was definitely evident, even in the short time I was there. You were two people. I don't know if it's because of the alliance thing, but I just paired you in my brain as because I pair people off, and I'm okay, Memphis and Christmas, especially when I later found out you guys were the only two part of that alliance that I didn't suspect. So I I think it was very evident that there was more of like a gravitational pull to each other, whether you guys were going to fight it or not. I think it was very apparent.
Thank you. Yeah, we fought it hard, and then like coming out of the house, just kind of getting back to your normal life, and then you're like, man, not only is he my best friend, but like I still want to hang out with him all the time and just share what I wasn't even able to share in the house. And it's incredible because like we spent 3 months day in and day out together and nothing was ever physical. You know, it's not like, let me get sexy tonight. You can't do that in a Big Brother house. You look like smashed butt most of the time just because you don't care.
Yeah.
And I mean, for like, you know, to come out and then have that time of real life together, you're like, oh my gosh, you're even more than I thought in real life than what I discovered of you in the house. So it just magnified everything that we had. And then we were like, let's pull this ripcord. Let's go for it.
How was that moment deciding like, hey, we're going to announce this everywhere?
So it's kind of interesting where like my relationship with Memphis is unlike any other relationship that I've ever had, where there's just like this comfort and this knowing, like he knows who I am. He knows I'm going to get sassy. I'll get a little bitchy. I'm also like super loving. You know, you see all these facets of somebody's personality. And then just, it's like when we met after the show, it was like, well, this is obvious. Like, who are we fooling? And then it just kind of like everything was easy after that. The hardest thing was being apart from each other and not really knowing whether this was Big Brother or real life. And then when we had that first meeting, that first hangout, and we knew, it was like, okay, this is life. Then it was like, there was no like, are you my boyfriend? Like there's no timidness there. It's just confidence and like security.
Do you guys live close by each other, or is it a long distance relationship?
So, you know, Big Brother 2020, there's a simple answer. We live close. Like we live a few hours away from each other and we see each other frequently every week.
That's good.
2020 like wrecked so many people's like normal, what we call normal life, you know, it's not normal anymore. And so what I did coming out of the house, a few things that I recognized in the house that I really came to understand is one, I can relocate for Loyal to have a more involved relationship with his dad. And so Loyal stayed with his dad for the entire time that I was away. And I had a hard time with that, like just being away from my son. And he's a great dad. They have a great relationship. And him and I have worked really hard on our relationship and to get to not just a good point, like we co-parent, we legitimately co-parent now. It's a really great place for us to be. And, you know, it just was a no-brainer for me to come out of the house knowing that I want to take more accountability for what I can do to bring my family together more frequently. And so I'm actually here in Tampa right now, living with Ben's mom. You know, Loyal's grandmother, and you know, down the street Ben lives, and he's with the same girlfriend from that article, you know, a couple years ago. And we all like are seriously good. We're very modern, unique family, and so I don't see my permanent residence being in Tampa, but I do see my permanent residence being in Florida to provide a better opportunity for the whole family to be together. And that's what 2020 did for me. And also Big Brother for season 22. It helped me, you know, pull my own head out of my ass and do what I was capable of doing to bring my family together more.
I mean, I have to say, I want to start by talking about some of the Big Brother things. Obviously, there was some controversial moments in there, but before we get there, I do, and then I want to talk about fun holiday things. Yes. But I have to say, What I really appreciate about you, Christmas, is I think that you have a really good sense of humor about things. I think you don't really take things that seriously, and you can like laugh at yourself about things. And I think, regardless of what people think that you did or said in the game, I think it's not even a point to argue that I think you are a great mom, and it is clear that you put your family first and your kid first, and that you do things for them and your family. So I think that that is a good thing to remind people on this holiday season.
Thank you. I try, you know.
And now I'm going to
everybody's
yell at
situation is
you.
different.
I was going to say,
Careful, because you know, Eric, you know I yell back.
Yeah.
I don't think it's shit.
no, I was going to say, and now I have to air my grievance of the day Nicole was evicted and you yelled at her at that desk. I was like, Christmas.
Yeah. We had a very awkward last exchange.
I know. And I'm going to tell you now. So Nicole, you and I haven't really had a conversation since that day.
We have not.
And I want to tell you that like that day, that was stressful. I didn't yell at you because I disliked you. Like I had a moment where I just kind of, you know, that house is a pressure cooker, and how I spoke to you was not appropriate, and I'm sorry. And I wanted you to stay. There was a lot building up to that moment, and I'm not making excuses. I shouldn't have spoke to you that way. And that's it. You know, we can dive into details if you like, but I wanted to give you an apology without but.
No, I appreciate that tremendously, and not to offer up a but myself, but I will say it's a very stressful house. It's a very stressful dynamic. You were part of an alliance that I didn't know. So here I am, Christmas, please, Christmas, please, Christmas, please. And you knew on your end, like, it ain't happening. I'm working with these people. So I think, yes, I was very frustrated with you in that moment. I was very upset getting out of the house. Yes, I had plenty of my Christmas Memphis moments, but you know, watching the season unfold, and it's a game, and you get passionate, just like you get passionate about a baseball game, and then it's over, and the season's over, and I have no problem with Christmas the person.
What?
I have no problem with Christmas the person. Like that moment happened, it pissed me off because I wanted to stay so badly.
I know.
But you move forward.
And truth be told, like where I was in that position is I felt like I had the ability to push for you to stay. And I wanted to, and I had started to kind of massage that with the alliance. And honestly, like at that point, and now I'm going to get into a little bit of a detail of not why I snapped, but why I didn't vote for you to stay, is because at that point, what confused me was you were like, I'm not with Janelle and Kaser. And then as soon but you were, and you weren't taking a stand. And for me to take that leap of faith on somebody, I needed to know where they were. Yes. And you not taking a stand, in my opinion, now this isn't, you know, again, this is all my opinion, in my opinion, and you, like, I felt like you were so wanting to stay so bad that I was like, she's just, at this point, she's telling us whatever we want to hear.
I was throwing everything in the kitchen sink. And I think my biggest explanation for that is I didn't know necessarily where I stood. I knew, okay, Janelle and Kaser are fighting for me, but I don't know if it's to help me or if it's to help themselves. So I don't want to be attached to the sinking ship because it's not smart. So I will work with other people, but those other people now don't trust me because Janelle and Kaser continuously keep fighting for me. So it was just this like cluster F, and I was stuck in the middle of no matter which way I twist it, one side or the other is going to be like, ooh, this doesn't sound right. So I was literally just kind of stuck. And I think it was you and Davon, I believe, that had a conversation on the feeds later on in the season. I remember Eric telling me where you explained like, oh, Nicole got hit by like 2 buses. And that's essentially what happened. Like I was stuck in the middle of the road. There was 2 buses coming, and it was like, no matter which way I jumped, it wouldn't have mattered.
And that's interesting because like that same day, literally a few minutes before you came up to me, I had Kaser was like, he came up to me, and I looked at him, I was like, Kaser, your shit's sloppy. I was like, I told you that if you want to work with me, come to me and let me know what you want to do, but don't come to me and dictate. I'm not jumping on a board with a plan that is not planned out. You don't have the people, you don't have the numbers. Like, I'm not going to war in a moment for something that I had no say in. And then, and I told him straight, I was like, your shit's sloppy right now. You're like, I'm not on board with this. And so right after that, you came up to me and I was like, I'm done.
Yep. I know. I felt that sense of like, oh my gosh, other people are fighting for me. I don't want you fighting for me. Just let me, do my thing. And I think this is something that I talked to Eric about. I do very much believe that a lot with this season was different communicators. Like, a lot of us, we've already played the game. We know how to play it. We know how we play it our way. And I think a lot of things were lost in translation because we communicate differently. So I always said, I could engage Janelle because her and I are very different communicators. She's a lot more like rigid. We get stuff done. I'm a lot more emotional, validate me type of person. And I think the same thing goes for like you and Kaser, where Kaser's very, this is what we're doing. Just say yes. And you being I'm a strong woman. Don't tell me what to do. That line of communication became more messed up. So I think a lot with this season were people that were set in their ways and not willing to waver. And we all did it to each other, especially in the beginning of the season. So I think a lot of it's like different communicators, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that you nailed it, where we all have played the game before. And so we are very, like, you go in there with trust issues anyway, and then you've played the game. Like, this is setting you up for like it was all strategy. Like, it was very, very, like, as technical as you can get with Big Brother. This was it. We had very little drama, between like the blow ups, the meshing of the new personalities. You didn't really get this season because we all were like keeping it all close, super close to our chests, and playing very, very, not timid, but very strategic.
Yes.
And, and there was this old school, new school concept that, like, Kaser was definitely old school, and I wish he was, like, I really wanted Kaser to stay. I really wanted to work with Kaser, but that first conversation that we had with, like, him recruiting me, I was like, we are not going to work together ever.
No,
and nobody suspected me and Memphis in the committee. So people were telling us stuff left and right, and they weren't even really associating us together. And, like, I'm over here going, what do I do with all this information? Like, I can only get out one at a time, but who do I want to keep as my secret agent? I mean,
you were definitely in a hard spot, Christmas, because I think the committee knew they had the numbers. Nicole wasn't necessarily in that. Devon not in that. And I think when Davon is kind of like, I'm not sure what we're gonna do here, you knew, like, yes, Janelle and Kaser are presenting this to that group of you in that room that day, but you knew most of the people in this room are gunning for you, Janelle and Kaser. I'm not getting on the ship that the whole house is going after.
Well, I mean, even with my previous season, I'm a loyal player. So once I have my team, I have my team. But I really was trying to do a little something differently this time. And Nicole, like, truth be told, I wanted to connect with you. I wanted to work with you. And I nudged that a little bit in the very beginning before. Yes. And I didn't feel like that was being received from you. So I was like, okay, not going to push that. And kind of like what I did with David was I didn't have him in my pocket, but I fought for him subtly for the entire season. And I mean, I even tried to vote Nicole out to keep David, like, I tried to flip the vote. And it didn't work, but, it's not all about the alliance. It's about these outliers too. And that was important for me too, but I just couldn't do it after, after they were just like, what? Nicole's our girl. We're fighting for, I was like,
I think that is, I think That was one of the most frustrating things for me to watch, as obviously Nicole's friend, who also covers this show for 10 years, to watch people be like, Nicole ruined Janelle and Kaser's game. Like, no, she didn't. You could argue it the other way.
For sure. I saw it the other way.
Them nonstop campaigning when she said, please stop for a week, is why no one wanted to keep her.
Because it didn't matter how much I tried, they didn't stop. So people were like, oh no, they're not stopping. They must really be tight. And I was like, oh gosh, I just want to play. I just want to stay and get to know people. Because like Christmas, when you said like, oh, I got nothing in return, I meant what I said. I know you said like bronze to brains type of thing. I am very big on like action. Like, okay, I know what I'm thinking. So when I win HOH, she's good and I'll show it in action. So I think I just never got the chance to act and show people this is what I'm doing, which sucks.
Yeah, I mean, having HOH always gives you an advantage because you can leverage those. That's where the relationships really are spawned from, that are really strong in the very beginning. So getting into a position of power right away and showing people like, hey, you're safe, or hey, like, I'll take out your target. That loyalty and that commitment to each other in the game is really important.
I think it's great that from what I can tell, the majority of this cast is very much game is game, real life is real life. And it seems like the majority of this cast has left the game in the game. I know, like you said, that you were trying to build that bond with Nicole early. I loved watching the conversations that I remember you two were having, like outside on the couches. It was like, yes, this is what Nicole needs. She needs, a woman like Christmas in her life to stand up for yourself. You can take a stand against these people. It's okay to be emotional and be strong. Like, I remember wanting that so bad at the beginning of the season.
Oh my gosh. I was praying that you were going to stand up and be like, I'm coming after you and you. And I would have been like, yeah, she's staying. And then when you were like, no, I'm going to, I'm going to go. And I was like, she didn't say it. It wasn't enough. I literally was like, oh man, please.
Oh, I knew Nicole was never saying it. Watching those live feeds when everyone was like, do it, Nicole, do it. And she's like, oh, let me think about it. I'm like, let me tell you about Nicole. If she didn't do it instantly, she's not doing it.
Is that it would be such a bold move for you.
Yeah.
That people would be like, she ain't playing. Like, right. She's serious. And so people would know that you really meant what you were doing, because you don't do that like big bravado thing, like so when you do say something, especially something so bold, people are like, oh shit, she coming with.
I think a part of me just couldn't, because I think deep down I subconsciously knew that Janelle and Kaser meant well in like advocating for me. So like,
girl, big brother.
But I think that would have just eaten me alive. And also I think deep down there was a part of me that was just like, I'm done.
Yeah, well, you had a really hard thing. You had a really hard situation coming back right after a whole season.
Yeah.
And like, but I'm of the mindset, like, when I walk into that house, game on, there's no rules. And if I have to get dirty, I'm going to dirty.
Which I admire a lot. I said this a lot all season, and this is no shocker. I'm very honest about it. I'm not a big alliance gal. I'm not like a yay committee, let's do this. I was like, no, I want the underdogs to get. I want them to pull out this win. But one thing I will say is I have to commend all of you for remaining so loyal to each other, for remaining unbreakable, and just plowing through. You guys won every single competition. And yes, as a viewer and as a fellow underdog, that was frustrating, but out of respect for the game and you guys as players and people, I have to say, damn, you guys won everything, kept to your words, steamrolled. And yeah, it may not be the most interesting to watch, but it's very applaudable, like, to see it happen.
Thanks. I remember, like, I have never played in a large alliance like that either. My first season, I was pretty solo. Like, I had Josh, and then separately I had Paul, and everybody had Paul. And Josh was the target. Like, so I wasn't really in a great space talking about being protected. And, so when I had an opportunity to, and I always assume that I'm the underdog. So when I had the opportunity to team up with this larger alliance, I was like, awesome. They're probably going to pluck me off first. So let me figure out how I can protect myself even further. And, it was super fun. I love playing within a big alliance, and it wasn't like I got to coast. That's not it for sure, because I knew I was going to be a target.
Yeah.
I think you did. For the record, I like to always reference this, the fact that you and I were the only two girls to win the competition on premiere night.
Yes.
So people say something, I'm like,
you were so fast.
Impressive.
Well, I took note of that too. So when I was looking at the lineup of the people who won that first maze competition, and so then I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that alliance thing right now, but I do want to take notice of like, these are the people that I need to look out for. I either need to align or get rid of. And I really wanted to align with you. And I'm just not very, like, even in my real world, I'm not very good at like, hey, let's talk.
Yeah, same. I'm more action.
What do you feel about this? Like,
Chris, did you know there's like I told Eric this, I thought it was funny. There's like fan pages dedicated to you and I that are like,
I know,
like Chris Nicole or Nicole Miss. I forget what it is, but it's like, I love their friendship. I was like, what? Like how? Like, that was interesting. That was like a thing that some people like envisioned being the final two. So I thought it was very interesting.
Well, I'll tell you what I really enjoyed is like obviously in the beginning, because you were you second out.
Yes,
but I loved our conversations. I gave you what I thought you should do, I of my opinion, but I also I just loved talking with you, and you were, I felt for you in a way that I understood. I felt very, very connected with you in a way that I had come out of the show last time and it was just like a whole different experience. And then being back in was a little it was a lot. And I just felt I felt that from you. And so I really enjoyed our conversations, and I wish that we could have had more time together, because I don't know. I just wanted to I don't want to say help, because that's not the accurate, but I wanted to really
motherly, but not that. I don't mean that as an insult. I don't mean matronly. I just mean I've said this a lot. The way you interacted with Josh was a very protective, I'll give you advice. And I think that's why I did go to you a lot. Hey, Christmas, what do you think of this? Because you have that air of I'm going to give you my advice. I'm going to help you. Now use this, grasshopper.
And also I was just you can, I love dissecting possibilities. And looking at things and watching people, the way they behave, and looking at strategy and understanding okay, this is, I could do what I want to do, or I could do what I should do. Yes. And what is the difference, and what kind of end result is it going to get me? So I usually go from end result and I work my way backwards. And I don't know. That's why I really wanted you to stand up and be I'm coming after you. And I was like,
which would help me maybe in certain regards, but in other regards, I don't know.
Oh God, I couldn't imagine postseason if you would have done that.
Yeah, I got enough death threats for one lifetime.
Yeah, so that's where I wasn't very smart. Where I didn't give a fuck what was going on outside of the world, because I was in there to win, and I'm consumed when I compete. Mm-hmm. I'm completely taken over, and I'm not looking at if people want to send me death threats because I did something in the game, that's on them, and shame on you for wanting to send death threats to me or my family. Yes, I'm saying that. I'm standing up right now. Shame on you, not you guys, but the people sending me death. You need a hug, okay? You need a hug.
I mean, let's talk for a second about that. I mean, obviously, we know where it came from. I know you have spoken about it on your own already, but obviously, it started in the house with the nomination of Bailey and Devon, and then coming into the outside world. I know you did that Instagram, and then the people guessed it in. And then you kind of took a break and said, I'm getting a lot of this feedback. A lot of people are saying that, this is how they feel about this. I want to take a step back and reflect and learn and grow from what happened. So what has that process been like for you? What have you learned about yourself now, reflecting back on all of that?
I learned that here's the thing that I want to remind you that I had to relearn and remind about myself is that I went in to compete. And when I compete, I only see the end goal. And however I have to get there is really about like my ability and the resources that I have to be able to do that. I played the game, and I didn't play the game with any other thing other than what is best for me in this game and what is best for my alliance to get me further. I was playing to win the game, not playing to win social media. And so I want to, like, with that in mind, when I play the game, I don't take into account sex, religion, race, gender identity, social status, who you are, what you've done. I think about in the game what my tools are at that moment to get me further. And that's exactly what I did. Both Bailey and Devon expressed explicitly to me that they were coming after 4 of my 6 alliance members. And they were the only ones that had expressed that type of, any sort of going after anybody in the game. And they also, both of them individually or collectively, never asked to work with me. So when you give me that type of situation and you're constantly giving me information about what you're going to be doing, and you come after my team and you're not asking me to be on your team, then I have to do what I did. That move was a pure 100% game move. And I said it then and I say it now. Now, going back, this is the time that I get to reflect, right? Coming out of the house, getting called names that I didn't think was accurate. I needed to go and look about these microaggressions, because me nominating them was not a microaggression. And I'll tell you, and I've said this, is that I'm a competitor. I'm not microaggressive. I'm heavily aggressive in my competition, period. That's it. So when the fight that we got into was trying to define personal game with game. And in my opinion, and this is why Big Brother is so controversial sometimes, there are no rules how to play that game. So if you want to leverage personal information about someone or yourself to get further in the game, that's a game move. And that is okay for you to do. What I had a problem with was that I didn't use any information that was personally given to me, like about Bailey's life or Devon's experiences to get further in the game. I didn't do that. What I did was I nominated them because they gave me information that they were going to do in the game about my alliance. So I don't know where that came from. We're going to agree to disagree, or we're not even going to agree to disagree. We're just going to disagree on that.
I mean, I can tell you, I don't think for me watching it, I totally understood your nominations. It made complete sense to me why you would nominate the people that you're not working with. I think the microaggressions was the part that people got upset about, rightfully so got upset about, because I think it was if you had just nominated them and said, I'm coming against, you're coming against us, so I'm going against you.
But
But you
remember, I
also,
couldn't disclose that they were coming against my alliance.
Mhm.
So
correct.
I really only had I had very little information to give them to justify my nominations at that time, but anybody watching the show knew exactly why. And that was the only move that I could do in that time it was it. That was the only move.
And
But I do, Eric, you're right. I want to address the microaggressions.
Yes.
Because I think it was like I don't want to get, I forget what it was. Like, I don't want to
Right.
get shot or
Right.
like
And I promise you, that's why I wanted to identify when I'm in my competition mode, I see red. And this is something that's why I don't do combat or competitive sports that are contact. It's dangerous for me, you know? So when I say those things, I would have said that for anybody that I was nominating. I speak in an aggressive manner. I talk I spent 4 years in Iraq as a contractor, working side by side, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day with these guys that were prior military. And I'm telling you, these guys were not just your everyday branch. These were all special forces guys, Marine recons, Rangers, Green Berets. You don't think that they don't talk aggressive? I am an aggressive shit talker. Okay. I'm telling you, I said it earlier in the podcast, I said, strap up. That's not a microaggression. That's just the way that I talk. So I do understand. And I'll tell you even further, I went back and I was like, okay, so I could have been a little bit more delicate about how I delivered some things, but also me not being delicate is who I am. I was owning who I am. But what hurts my heart is I can learn and understand, read the room, Christmas, right?
Yes.
Be kinder and gentler in the way that you converse with some people. Nicole, I already had this conversation with you. I apologize. And I apologize individually to Davon and Bailey separately. And I didn't give an excuse. I said, I'm sorry, you didn't deserve that, and it won't happen again. And it didn't happen again.
Amazing.
My frustration is that when I reached, because I really, really connected with Bailey. I have love for that girl. She is so bright and so her soul is so beautiful. And we worked out together. We did yoga together. We did personally connect. And I wanted to work with her, but I didn't know how she worked with people. And so there was that's a different type of relationship. That's a different lane. And I reached out to both of them in multiple different ways after the show because I wanted to have a real conversation without social media, without cameras on. And, I unfortunately haven't heard back from either one, but I want to go ahead and say this now, that door is still open for me. If and when they want to have a conversation, I'm happy to do it. And I'm happy to sit down and listen to the things that they perceive me to do that was wrong or even bothered them. I will gladly listen so I can understand and make right.
Absolutely. Especially, I'm trying to think of the perfect way to word it. You are a very assertive, sometimes aggressive person when you are in competition mode and whatnot. And I think it's in those moments, whether we notice it or not, that microaggressions do come out. So yes, some of the things that you did say about Davon or Bailey or toward Davon and Bailey, you may think oh, that's just me, I get competitive, but it is still a microaggression. So I do hope that the two of them do respond to you so as to shed more of a light on that, because I think that's something that I don't fully understand. You don't fully understand. Anybody in our shoes doesn't fully understand. I think microaggressions need to be explained to us because we think, oh no, I would say that about anybody, or oh that no, and I think we're just not aware that it's bigger than that, So I do think more communication and conversation and education needs to happen.
I agree with you 100%, Nicole, because I'm blind to what I've been blind to all my life.
Yep.
This is a situation or some specifics that I don't know what I don't know. And I'm trying to learn these things on my own. And when I learn them, I'm asking for a little bit of tolerance and a little bit of education.
Absolutely.
Not just death threats. That's not how I'm going to learn. That's how I'm going to be resentful. And that's how I'm going to negatively react and be
Yep.
more aggressive. So, and this isn't their responsibility. This is what I'm not saying this, but I really, really wanted to be able to have a conversation with them. And I had conversations with them in the house about wanting to know more about their experiences. And I meant that. And I'll tell you that, like, this was really, really hard for my heart when I came out, because I have been an avid influence on human equality all of my life. I'm talking about middle school, high school. I worked with underprivileged kids in a specific neighborhood to help them with their studies, so that because they didn't have access to more advanced classes. We've done fundraisers to give them field trips to the state capitol, because the school didn't have the funds to be able to do that. I worked with a Sexual Minority Student Alliance when I was in college, where, by the way, I got my face beat in. I got my nose broken because I was defending somebody that had just got physically abused, a gay Black man that came in, and we went outside to make sure to shut it down. And I got beat up. And because of that, we were able to get more lights and security systems in the campus at VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University. And so it makes me shake to think that people would think that I am that type of person in any regard,
Mm-hmm.
and would make conscious decisions to be that type of person. So
Yes.
for me, I have a lot to learn, but while I'm learning, help teach me, help
Yes.
teach everybody, and like, it doesn't help to continue to spread the hate. It doesn't.
I agree with that.
This whole cancel
100%.
culture can fuck off. Okay.
Yeah.
This whole, like, I'm going to cancel a human being because they said one wrong thing that they probably weren't even aware that they were saying it wrong. That is not okay. That is not a way that we as human beings should be treating each other, especially during a world pandemic.
Yep.
And the world is, like, in this turmoil, like, turbulent place. So,
Because much of it is, like, unconscious, subconscious. That's why I agree with you 100%. It comes down to bringing it to the forefront and educating about it and making, everybody more aware, as opposed to, because I know from myself, I know from other people, you can consciously think like, oh no, that's not me, but
right.
It could be innate. It could be conditioning. It could be subconscious, unconscious. And I do very firmly believe in education. And that's why I appreciate you very much saying you want to learn more and, be approached with more situations where you learn about those type of things. And I appreciate that a lot.
I love learning, and I want to get it right. I don't want to get it just right for myself. I want to get it right for my son, and I want to be able to use my platform to help others get it right. But if I continue to get it wrong, and people are shitting on me and hating on me and sending me death threats, then how can I get it corrected?
Exactly.
Let's figure out the solutions. I'm sorry, Eric, I keep talking over you.
No, that's no problem. I was just going to say, like, look, I wasn't even on the show, and I went through it this season because of things Nicole did in the show, and then Nicole went through it. So I think we understand what that is like. I think you have to try your best to block those people out. And I think at the end of the day, the relationships that are important are the ones that happened between you guys in the house. And if Bailey and Davon aren't ready yet to talk, then I guess you just always have that door open. I'd say maybe it's not personal. I think Davon is just very busy, because Davon and I have been friendly with each other for many years. We have done little things together. I'm like, hello, Davon, you're the new America's favorite player. Nicole's the last one. Where are you? Hello? I haven't, but I'm sure that she is, catching up with her family and her friends and all of that. But maybe she's just very busy.
I get it. And listen, I'm not this isn't me being like, they didn't get back to me. What the hell?
No.
I am just now starting to come out of my BB recovery. But,
I hear you.
Yeah. I mean, and this isn't going away. I'm not shelving this anymore. This is something that is going to continue, for me at least, to be a subject of education and growth and curiosity, and I want to continue to touch on it and not harp on it, but touch on it to encourage people to be kinder. And like, here's the thing about the people that are sending the hate is that those are the ones that need the love the most.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, there is something that is reflective upon them that they also need a hug. They need a big hug. And like somebody to say, hey, look, I remember I got a message one time, and then I'm going to move on from this subject. Somebody was telling me about how an awful mother I am and that I deserve my child to get taken away. I'm talking like people send really awful, hurtful, heart things. And normally I ignore them or delete or whatever. And I was like, I just feel compelled to write this person back. And I said, you know, I was like, I received your message. I hope that whatever it is that you were looking for to feel and to receive by sending me that message, you found. And it was like, and it was something else nice, like, you know, and it was literally 2 minutes later, they sent back, they were like, you're right. I'm so sorry. That was like, I'm going through this, you know, very awful divorce and all this stuff. And I was like, hey, I was like, it's shitty time right now for you. I was like, but hang on, it's going to get better. And in the meantime, try and be a little kinder to yourself. Yeah. You know, it's literally just that one little message. I hope that you find what you're looking for was a trigger for them to be like, oh, that was me, not her.
A lot of people, like, they'll write something, and if you do react or respond, it's, oh my God, I love you so much, thank you for responding. And you're like, wait, what?
Because that's all they want. 90% of the people just want a response. They either want the attention from you or the attention from the person they're attacking you on behalf. They've learned that's how you can get attention. A small part. Because I think the large majority of the Big Brother community is amazing. I mean, they are an amazing community. So it is, I think it's great. I mean, I would say to put, you know, a button on this is that, to your credit, I think you'd be fine with me saying this. We asked before the show, is there anything you didn't want to talk about? Is it okay if I talk about these things? And you said 100%. I will talk about anything. I think Nicole and I were of the mindset of it's a Christmas show.
So we just got serious on her.
No, it's good. We got serious on Christmas.
So we had a little bit of spirit and stuff, but, you know, it is clear to me that you are open, willing to learn and grow from this. And I hope that people allow you to do that.
Me too. Thank you. Yeah.
And so, you know, speaking
right in the mood.
Speaking of the holidays, we were wondering, is there any holiday tradition that you do every single year?
Oh man, listen, I love traditions, and my family didn't have any money growing up. So, you know, you want to talk about some experiences? I can tell you about some. So this one thing that we do, my grandmother is German. And so the Germans put a shoebox outside their door at night, and old St. Nick fills it with walnuts and oranges.
Yep.
And so I know. And so we're going to do that. We open a present on Christmas Eve evening. And and then on Christmas Day, we stay in our pajamas for the first part of the day and eat a big breakfast and rip open all the presents. And me and Loyal have matching pajamas.
Mm-hmm.
What's the theme this year of the pajamas?
It's like lumberjack, you know, kind of like a black, gray, red plaid. Actually, I just voted. Oh my God. I just posted a little video of Loyal wearing his, and on the butt, it's like one of the onesie pajamas. And on the butt, it has tailgate, and it has like a truck with the back of it with a Christmas tree on it.
That's cute.
Listen, I'm telling you, I have the best time, like, playing mom with Loyal. It's the best.
Oh,
and then we have like certain foods that are traditions. We on Christmas Day, my family usually plays cards and drinks whiskey.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, no pajamas.
But so like I'm 50, like my mom is 100% German. My dad is 100% Italian. So I'm well aware of the box with the walnuts and the oranges. Do you do the pickle? Do you hide the pickle in the tree? The pickle ornament?
No.
That's
I
a
don't
fun
have a
one
pickle
too.
ornament. Maybe I should do that.
Yes, that's another German tradition where, like, on the tree, Nicole, you have like this pickle ornament and you hide it. Like, you put it on the tree with all the other ornaments, and then the person that finds it on Christmas usually gets a special.
Yeah, it's like the New Orleans
Right.
cake with the baby in it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Also, I was born in New Orleans, so there's lots of little traditions throughout the year that I love to do.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
all of that. Now,
What are some of those traditions? Because I'm obsessed with gnarlins, as they say.
We're gonna have to work on that for you.
Oh.
She's like, Nolans.
yeah.
Well, I mean, how do you say it?
Put a little finesse. Nolans.
Ask her how she says toilet. Did you hear her say that in the Big Brother house?
Nolans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I say, my family says turlet. I don't know why. It's just a thing. Yeah.
Like you're gonna take a little turd on the turlet?
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe end up being a hybrid of turd and toilet.
Nicole and I grew up 10 minutes from each other, which is the part that blows my mind, how we speak completely differently. I make fun of how she talks all the time. She'll be like, I gotta drink the water. Or she'll be like, do you gotta get the bowl? And I'm like, it's ball. And she's like, ball.
Ball.
I'm like, ball.
I want you to try New Orleans.
New Orleans. Eric, you do it.
New Orleans. Okay.
New Orleans.
We'll work on it.
You have to. Well, here's what I know that people, because, normally when we do these shows live, we have polls that are happening and meters, and the audience is so engaged during the show. And I have a feeling that when people watch this back, I'm trying to think, what is something they're going to be like, I can't believe you didn't ask. And I have a feeling it's going to be, can you tell us what you got Memphis for Christmas? Or is he going to be watching? Although this isn't airing, this isn't live. This is airing the night of Christmas, so he would have probably have gotten it already.
Let's see. No. So he'll watch it immediately when he comes out. It's funny because we're kind of obsessed with each other, Right. I mean, it's so funny because the whole season we were like, gosh, Tyler's always talking about Angela and like how he won Angela and not the $500,000. And we were just like, seriously, you didn't win $500,000, dude. And now we're like, we get it. Like, honestly, we're just like, man, he was the smartest dude in the house. Like, we get it. So I'm going to blush for a minute. I mean, like, I have such a good time with him. Memphis, it's so fun. I was supposed to go to his parents' house with him for this Christmas. And this past week, I tested positive for COVID, along with the rest of my house. And so, obviously, I wasn't going to travel, even if I was feeling better.
Symptomatic.
Symptomatic.
I'm symptomatic.
Hydromatic.
Electrifying.
Yeah.
Wait, so are you gonna? I'm so bad. Are you gonna sing "Grease Lightning" for Memphis?
Have I seen it?
Are you gonna sing it for him? Is that the song?
No, we did Dirty Dancing time of our life.
Oh.
Wow. Damn.
We did that. So you missed it, Nicole. Okay, I'm getting off track here.
No, we do this.
I'm gonna watch this before I see him, so I can't tell you what I got him. But like, I'm very sentimental. Like, you don't have to get me shit. Grab a crayon and grab a piece of paper and make me a card. That's like, I don't care. Like, I'm very, very sentimental. So I got him some really cute sentimental stuff. And Nicole, you missed. Oh my gosh, you missed Give the Kids the World, the reality. And the party that we went to, like, he dressed up like Patrick Swayze. I dressed up like Baby.
Stop it.
And we had it was so cute. And we danced to Time of My Life. And then I also made him play Something to Talk About from Bonnie Raitt, because that was like our coming out song. Because we were always like, oh my God, if you listen to the lyrics, it's perfect. Plus, I'm a huge Bonnie Raitt fan.
Something.
I love Bonnie Raitt. I love her.
I'm all about their friendship, and then people were talking about their friendship and are they in love? And then we were just like, we are.
Wait, so when you did the Dirty Dancing dance, did he lift you?
I jumped on him.
Okay.
All right. I'll take it. Give me a year.
You know, I feel like this is a good opening because I want to make sure that, I acknowledge this. I know Nicole was very upset for not being able to go to the Hearts of Reality event in Florida. However, I think that is a thing that even when Memphis came on, who was a more, let's say, controversial, got a more controversial edit this season. I always want people to know, especially during this holiday season, that you are another person just like Memphis that does so much for charity, raises a bunch of money. You have done a ton for Hearts of Reality, and you've done that even before this season, before anything happened. So, I think that is an amazing part of your personality that I know even Memphis doesn't really talk about it. So I wanted to acknowledge you for that, because I do love when people come out of that show and do a lot of good for charity, and you are one of those people.
Selling Big Brother items for Give Kids the World. That's incredible.
Yep, I just sent out my last batch, and I'm about to drop a couple K into their bank account. Yeah, it was awesome, And also one of my other, and I just want to touch on this because one of my other favorite, not necessarily charities, but they have a couple charities, is Camp Southern Ground. So little fun fact is that Zach Brown Band.
Yes.
Zach Brown actually lives in Georgia, and he lives down the street from Camp Southern Ground, which is his camp, like summer camp for kids. And what I love that he does about this is that he integrates kids with special needs and special challenges with children that do not have special needs and challenges. And they do like the ropes course, they do yoga, they have a farm, they talk about nutrition, they do team building stuff. And what I love is that it not only takes the special needs children and integrates them into a group setting that they probably haven't been exposed to, but it also takes the children that don't have special needs and know how to react and how to integrate with children that are a little different from themselves. And the other thing that they do during the winter time, which is something that I've been heavily involved with for a couple of years now, is they take veterans that have come home and they help give them, they have a week, it's called Warrior Week, and it's a week-long camp for them where it's kind of like kids camp, they're learning how to have conversations and interviews for jobs, how to build their resume, how to budget their finances, how to apply for loans, how to meditate and do yoga and to do fundamental fitness. And I came in for the nutrition part, and it's called Warrior Week. And they have about 15 veterans that have come out of the military and just have had a hard time implementing and socializing themselves.
Yeah.
And this is something that's very dear to me. I was not in the military, but I was in Iraq for 4 years. I worked side by side with these fellows, and I had a really hard, it took me about 2 years to understand that I was dealing with a lot of that PTSD, but it wasn't so severe that I knew it was PTSD. And it's kind of like depression, where it's this subtle, very, something that's so easily overlooked by your experience, and your pride gets in the way. But I love and Zach Brown has spearheaded this himself. Incredible dude, does a lot for the military and a lot for children. So Camp Southern Ground, they do awesome things, and it's pretty incredible. It's one of my favorite charities to work with.
Well, I'm going to just say this very quickly, because it is Christmas, everyone. Maybe you are watching this because you're like, oh, this is what I got to do before I go to my family's house. I want some enjoyment, but wait, I forgot a gift. We will put the link to these charities below this video. What a great gift that you could do is a donation in someone's name this holiday season. So we will put the list to these to the charities that we mentioned below this video. It is a great time of year to help support everyone. People, you know, our vets, our disabled people, people with mental illness, Black Lives Matter, like all of those things we can do some good with this holiday season.
You guys are great.
I love Zach Brown, and then Gary Sinise does a lot as well.
Oh, you'll have to give me that information.
Yeah, Gary Sinise is a lot like the veterans and whatnot. He was on CSI New York, and he played George in The Mice and Men.
Yes, he did.
There's a few other ones that I love, but that one's big.
I do have to ask you because I'm going to forget, and I had a text come through from my sister, so if I forget, I'm going to be in trouble. She wants to know the whereabouts of all the star babies. Have they been adopted to all different homes? Are they all at your house? Where are the star babies?
You know, I have one star baby here. I kept the blue star blanket and one pink star baby for Loyal. And I auctioned off the white one, and they only sent me 2. They wouldn't let me keep them permanently in the house. They took my babies away. And I had a hard time.
No babies.
I had a hard time. And like it was strangely comforting to me to have those babies in the house, because
I bet.
Nobody knows this, but I had a nightmare from the day that I left Loyal. I had nightmares of being separated from him every single night until I won HOH. Wow. And then 2 weeks later, they came back. So actually, like all those scenes where I go up to Memphis and ask for a hug, it was because like I was feeling so lost without Loyal. And I just like, he understood, you know? And so I just was like, I just need a hug. And the baby a lot.
Yeah.
I had nightmares about leaving Eric.
What?
I said I had nightmares about leaving Eric.
Oh, God.
I'm just kidding.
No.
They did send 2 babies to Enzo, and they only sent me 2 babies. So I believe they probably auctioned them off. And they do a lot. Actually, Sean from Big Brother, she donates a lot of things to Parts of Reality for Omar to get them auctioned off and sold for more money for charity.
I gotta say, you got a really good box. I mean, obviously, we know Nicole went out second this year, so I don't think anybody was expecting that great box for Nicole. But when I was looking at Christmas's box, it was like voodoo dolls, I think, in the cardboard. I'm like, wow, you got nothing, Nicole.
I had a cardboard cutout.
I thought you did. Maybe you didn't. Maybe I'm mixing it. I have a horrible memory, and literally once the season ends, and especially this season that started, like I went on the journey with Nicole like day 1. So I was like ready to be done. Nicole was like, do you all,
so was I.
all I've wanted my whole life was something from the Big Brother house. I think I've been covering Big Brother 10 years. Nicole's like, do you want to? I'm like, I want nothing. I want nothing. Keep that away from me. It is cursed. Get it out of here.
Well, the voodoo doll was from my season 19.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
They gave me a great box too, but I was so like, it wasn't even Big Brother that I was pissed off about. I was pissed off about breaking my foot. Yeah. And that reality didn't hit me until I got home. Weird. I go 3 months in a cast. I get home. I broke my foot.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know if you remember, but I interviewed you after that season Christmas, and
I don't remember. I was still high.
Well, I had the same exact injury as you. I broke my ankle, my foot, and up my leg at the exact same. Right before you, I think. Same thing in a cast, except you got all your hardware out and mine's still in 3 years later.
Well, Eric, let me tell you, when I talked to my surgeon about that, I looked at him and I said, I'm an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do about it? And he was actually, they got me one of the best surgeons in LA. He did all of the pro athletes. And so the way that they restructured literally redid my foot is that they gave it an arch. So when I went back to like it's a natural arch versus flat foot. So they made it to make the hardware come out. Because otherwise they would have just fused my foot together, which would have been a lot less painful.
Yeah, I forget like what the deal was with mine. I am like Nicole. I'm very much like, don't tell me I made them lie to me before the surgery. I still have the photo on my phone. Like that's all of it. It's still all there. It's still all.
I think you want to keep that in.
I don't. Unfortunately, I can't afford to remove. I did not have the best surgeon. I had one that lied to me to trick me to allow him to do the surgery so that the insurance would cover it, and knowing he wouldn't be able to see me after the surgery.
Oh, you need a hug more than anybody.
Yes, he does. So don't you think he should allow me to hug him?
No, stop it.
Christmas said
we're giving you virtual hugs.
Okay, yay!
Oh. Christmas, I've never broken a bone. Knock on wood.
You better knock again, girl.
Yeah.
I just jinxed it.
No, seriously. So other than that situation where I got beat up, and they broke my nose at the base 2 places. I had to get it. It was not good. Never have I broken any sort of foot or bone in my life. So like
me neither.
Like other than that nose, that where I was like, I literally got knocked out. I got knocked out.
Yikes.
And my foot after that. So knock on wood.
But it's good now. It's good now. You can do things like run, go up and down stairs.
Finicky. Like I know when it's gonna rain.
Yeah.
I know when it's gonna be cold. But I'm working with a guy right now to get it's like a shot injectable into the bone because I have a little piece of my bone that has not healed. So it's really so basically it's like expediting arthritis, not anthrax, arthritis. Sometimes I'm like, what happens in my brain? And so like I'm hoping that helps with the pain management, but I have to slow build my workouts, specifically running.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really liked to run for a while.
I used to like to, and then found out that I can't. And you also, it's very hard to go up and down stairs when you can't bend your foot.
Do you, I know this is so funny. Do you use CBD at all?
Somebody told me that, and I feel like I should try it. I have not, but somebody did suggest that.
Listen, first of all, not all are created equal. I have a company that I really love to work with, but if you're not going to use that, then make sure you do your research on the company and the quality of the CBD oil. I mean, hands down, it's the only thing that has helped me come off of the pain medication and reduce inflammation. And like for me, I use it for my foot and stress-free, like anxiety reducer. So I sleep better. I feel better. It helps me with my training, recovery. I'm going to send you this information, and it's all.
Okay, definitely. Really, I will. I read all of that. Like I know people always go, I'm going to send you stuff and think that they don't. I 100% do. I have my husband is disabled from a back injury many years ago. So I am always all over all of that research of how anything can help people walk or be pain-free or all those things.
My stepdad struggles with TBI, and he has a couple of shoulder issues. Like he's had multiple surgeries on one shoulder. And this is the only thing that helps relieve his pain for him to not have to.
I love that.
It's really, really incredible. And like, listen, whatever, do what you feel.
Yes.
It doesn't make a difference.
No. I'll try it. I try everything. I try
using this product to make.
Do you apply? They make lotions, right? That you apply, or no? You're talking about like, is it like oil that like you drip into like your food?
Right. There's a couple different options that you have, and what I love about this company, the company is called Pure Spectrum, by the way. What I love about this company specifically is that they have their CBD products, because they have a whole bunch of different types. They have a third party test it and to show the potency, and they post the results every 3 months, I think, on their website. So they're like, we don't care, we're not hiding shit. And so there's the tincture that you put underneath your tongue and hold for 30 seconds. And then there's the isolate, which you also do, but it's a powder. It looks like a little thing of cocaine. Don't snip it.
Oh gosh.
I mean, it looks like baby powder. And then you have the rubs too. So I actually,
Right.
I would say if you're going to use one at all, use either the isolate, which is the powder, or the tincture put underneath your tongue, because then that your whole body absorbs it and you get the whole benefit on your entire body.
Right. I love
Wow.
that.
I mean, I sleep better with this. I mean, like I just feel better.
No, I know a lot of people that swear by it, and I'm going to try it. It is definitely.
You know what I swear by?
I know where this is going. Go ahead.
I swear by our final question, Christmas. It's the power of winter soups. Which soup is your favorite, your go-to to make you feel warm and fuzzy and all good inside?
Butternut squash
Oh.
Soup?
with
Oh God.
Oh gosh.
Don't
Okay,
judge
Eric
me.
just informed me there's
No,
potatoes, now there's
that's
squash
not. That's not why I'm oh-godding. Half the soups I had to explain to Nicole what they were, and now you just added another one that's going to blow her mind, that butternut squash can be a soup. That's my oh-godding. Go ahead.
It's like an autumn soup. It's so delicious.
Oh, I've eaten
so
butternut
delicious.
squash.
And then if you put a little bit of sunflower seeds on the top, and then like a little bit of like an oil that's like a pickled oil.
Like a truffle oil. Oh.
Look, listen to Eric. This dude knows. He's gonna.
Don't tell him that. Oh God.
Yes,
That's what's going to his head.
She didn't know She didn't know potato soup. She didn't know potato soup
I don't
was a
understand how you not
thing.
know what a potato soup is.
Exactly.
I know cream of mushroom, minestrone, Italian wedding soup, French onion soup, chicken noodle soup,
You know what these
tomato
soups are,
soup.
Eric? These soups
did I
are
what?
the ones on the eye level at the store.
Uh-huh.
You just
Yes,
grab it,
the
go.
Campbell's.
Progresso.
Campbell's
Yes.
is what I say to her. Yes, I was like, yes, you know
Okay.
Campbell's. Got it.
I'm very fancy. I know.
You will not find in
Campbell's.
can.
No, I mean that's why. I know Progresso. I know Campbell's. I know Lipton.
And Amazon. Well, look,
Amazon.
Oh well, this
Here is what
good
I
because
know.
I'm working on a cookbook, so I'll send you how to make my butternut squash soup in my cookbook.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. We got to give Christmas the floor for a minute to explain
Yes.
what she's up to, what she's working on, where
Yes.
people can find her. Christmas, take it away.
Let me tell you about what I'm doing. Well, actually, I'm launching a new fitness program. Well, I do different fitness programs. This is called Reset because let's be real, 2020 was a disaster.
Yes.
And so my fitness program, it's on christmasfitness.com. It's full-length workout videos. I do full-length cooking videos. I do nutrition education. We do 5-minute meditations. We do like there's a whole bunch of different programs that you can choose from. So there's a ton of content on there already, but I'm doing a new program January 11th, which I'm super stoked about because I call them my rebels because we break the rules, baby.
Rebels.
Yeah, they're going to lose their minds with this. And that's on christmasfitness.com. Otherwise, I'm hanging out with Memphis and we're literally just like, I'm working on my cookbook. He's helping me with that. And we're just like having a good time.
I love that. And also tell people where they can follow you on all your social media, where they can find you.
Listen, it's Christmas Abbott across the board. If they have anything else on there, it's not really me. So Christmas Abbott on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and that's about it. I love social media, so I play on it a lot.
Lovely. And the cookbook is coming out soon, or it's in the works?
It's in the works. That was a little premature. I just wanted to remind myself that I want to put that recipe in there because it's delicious. I use a coconut cream instead of milk. Yeah, girl, I got the goods.
I love swapping out for coconut cream as well. Look, here's the thing. When that cookbook comes out, you're going to have to come back Christmas or... Yes, if you Nicole and I have been starting to do on a Sunday, we'll do a special live type of a show. And we've been doing holiday ones, but I have a feeling we're going to start including some Sunday cooking shows because everybody is wanting them.
More so learning how to cook than teaching how to cook, but you know.
Right. And
That's even
then
better.
Yeah.
That's even better.
Oh, really? Do you want to do it Christmas? You played the game with her.
Funny.
Do you know what it's like for me? I'm going to be like, Nicole, that's not how you crack an egg. Oh my God, Nicole, you don't know how to use a mixer. Oh my God, Nicole, you're making I'm dreading
I'm sorry for this, Nicole. I'm going to go ahead and pre-apologize. Eric, this woman almost died on slop.
I did.
Yeah.
Eating. They had like these pellets, these slop pellets, and she wasn't even cooking them all the way through. They were crunchy, and she was eating them, and she her body shut down. Her intestines shut down.
They shut down.
She kept throwing up. She couldn't poop. She couldn't puke.
Listen,
it was just like stuck in there.
I could not poop, and I don't throw up, so it was just like filling, and I felt it right here, and I was like, I'm going to combust. I'm going to die on slop. This is how I die in the All-Star house. Like, that's where my journey ends.
I really thought she was going to die. And then it was week 3 that I had it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I think I had week 4. And me and Memphis were talking shit about the people who had it before. No, wait, it was me and Kaser who was talking smack.
Yes,
Kaser was talking smack big time, and I was by him, and I was like, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
And you and David were on the hammock, and he was like, we rocked this, and they sucked. And I was like,
we kind of did. We ate the steel cut oats as steel cut oats and didn't roll them, and that's why my body decided, I'm not processing this shit. You're gonna die.
Well, what happened really was that they weren't entirely cooked. They didn't have enough water when they cooked them. So when they ate them, the steel cut oats pulled everything out of their body to be able to add water so it could actually process it and digest it. So she got dehydrated, and she had a big old lump of slop in her gut.
Yep. But
then
since season, my face has cleared up Christmas.
And then she got evicted.
And then I got evicted.
Oh,
now my skin is clear.
Great.
Thank you.
So, have you been using that a special wash?
I've been better with scrubbing it, and I've been drinking more water.
Less sugar.
More water to balance the sugar.
This girl, on the week she wasn't on slop, she just ate I was like,
she exists on sugar, Christmas. You don't have to tell me. She exists on sugar.
She's gonna
but I got blood work, and everything's fine, so don't worry.
Get your blood work done.
I did.
She did. It's all healthy, so now I can't say anything to her anymore.
All of it. No diabetes. Cholesterol's fine. Sugar level's fine. Thyroid got checked. That's all perfect.
You're 23.
I'll be 26 in 3 days.
2 days.
The wheels come off after 30.
That's what I said to her. I was like, enjoy it now. Enjoy it now.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, we enjoyed you very much, Christmas. We cannot wait to follow you and keep track of all that you are doing in the future. And like I said, when that cookbook is here, we are ready to talk about it.
Yes. Love it. Ooh.
Cooking with Christmas.
Nicole, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I'm going to be honest, very similar to what I said to Memphis. Regardless of dynamics in that house, alliances in that house, perceptions, watching Big Brother as a fan that gets very passionate about certain situations. Outside the house, we're all people. We're all doing our best in this life. I very much enjoyed hearing about your story and your journey and you moving forward and wanting to learn and grow. And I love it. And I appreciate you coming on and speaking your truth and showing us that you are amazing.
Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate you guys. Really, it's been fun.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for tuning into this show. We hope that you all have a very Merry Christmas, a happy holiday, and don't forget, in just 2 short days on Sunday, we will be back live for all of you with Julie Chen.
Yes.
Moonfest. We will see you guys on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern with Julie. Bye for now, everybody. Bye, guys.